We had to run. We left everything behind. The nightmare never ends for us.
At night, people in northeastern Nigeria sleep fully dressed, not because they are ready for work, but because they're ready to run.
Some villages don't lock their doors. They listen, because by the time you hear gunshots, it's already too late. This is Boko Haram. They have ravaged many communities and render many homeless. And the most terrifying part, it didn't start with violence. Before the bombs, before the kidnappings, before the mass graves, Boko Haram was just an idea, a movement people didn't fear. So how did an idea turn into one of Africa's deadliest insurgencies? To answer that, we have to rewind. This is how it all began. Early 2000s, northern Nigeria. Jobs were scarce, with few opportunities available, driving high levels of unemployment and frustration across communities already burdened by poverty and neglect. Schools were overcrowded, forcing hundreds of children into classrooms meant for far fewer. Promises from politicians never arrived, and young men felt invisible. Then came a preacher, Muhammad Yusuf. He spoke calmly, confidently, and people listened. The system was rigged. Western education had failed us. Purity would bring justice. And at that time, authorities didn't see a threat. They should have. In 2009, clashes broke out between Boko Haram and security forces. Hundreds died. Muhammad Yusuf was arrested. Cameras recorded him, alive. Hours later, he was dead. No trial, no explanation. And in that moment, Boko Haram was reborn. After Yusuf's death, Boko Haram changed. No more patience, no more sermons, only revenge. Police stations were attacked and soldiers ambushed as coordinated strikes targeted both the authorities and the communities they were meant to protect. Entire villages were erased, leaving nothing behind but ruins, abandoned belongings. Other people who considered themselves superior mocked us and looked down on us. But what happened eventually came back on them. Umar has brought trouble upon you. If you cooperated with the government, you died. If you refused Boko Haram, you died. And suddenly, nowhere was safe. We pleaded in the name of God, saying we would not boast. Are we now the ones who should be boasting instead? But what I want now is for this information I intended to remove to be made known. Children couldn't go to school because their classrooms were destroyed. Entire villages were gradually abandoned, with homes left empty, markets silent, and daily life brought to a complete standstill. For years, Nigeria screamed alone, raising alarms about violence and insecurity, while the international community largely looked away. Thousands of people were killed, including men, women, and children, as the conflict spread and security deteriorated. Hundreds kidnapped. Then, in April 2014, Boko Haram stormed a girls' school in Chibok. They took over 270 schoolgirls from their dormitory while they sleep at night, an act that shocked the nation and exposed deep failures in security and protection.
There has been a breaking news.
And suddenly,
Some schoolgirls
the
in
world
northern
was
Nigeria
watching. Celebrities tweeted in solidarity, using their platforms to amplify the issue.
We stand together
World
in
leaders
demanding
spoke.
the safe return of the Chibok girls.
Hashtag Bring Back Our Girls became a global chant. Behind the headlines were horrors never tweeted. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This wasn't the first mass kidnapping. It was just the one the world noticed. So the question is, how many tragedies does it take before suffering becomes real? Girls forced into marriages. Children trained to kill. Entire communities erased from maps. Some escaped Boko Haram, only to be rejected by their own people. Because fear doesn't disappear with freedom, it follows. The Nigerian military fought back, hard. But war is never clean, and its consequences are felt far beyond the battlefield, affecting civilians most of all. There were accusations of detention camps, and many innocent people caught in the crossfire. The world accused the Nigerian government of being silent, questioning its response as violence escalated and public concern grew. Civilians were trapped between two fears: the men with guns at night and the men with guns in uniform. Today, Boko Haram is weaker, its influence reduced and its reach diminished, but the group has not disappeared. But splinter factions remain, carrying out attacks that remind the nation that the threat is far from over. Fear still lives in memory, lingering in the hearts of those who survived, even as the war slowly faded from global headlines. But for millions of Nigerians, it never ended, as it has become increasingly difficult for them to live a normal life again. Boko Haram didn't begin with violence. It began with neglect, poverty, and isolation. Conditions that slowly bred frustration, anger, and eventually extremism. And it began with people who felt unheard. And here's the most dangerous question of all. If those conditions still exist, what stops the next Boko Haram?